Well, hello everyone. I hope you all had a good night's rest from last night's lunar eclipse circle. So, this is your integration reading. So, I allowed the downloads and the healings to really settle within each and every one of you throughout the night, and then tuning in the next afternoon and seeing where the energy is at, how it's shifting. And I've pulled out the cards so you know what energy flow is coming and how to prepare for all those things. So let's dive in. So, the first cards that your spirit teams want to talk about are the moon cards. And these really speak about the energy that's coming in. Now that you've released all those negative blocks and had those awesome positive downloads, what's coming up next? So, the first card just really wants to assure you that the end of a tough cycle is approaching. So, and I'm laughing because I really felt a little bit of the energy shift after the lunar eclipse last night. So, the end of a tough cycle is coming to an end. Just ride it out a little bit longer. And as you're riding through this energy flow, know that you and your loved ones are safe. So that's the second card that had come out. And they just want to assure you all, assure each and every one of you that the tough cycle is ending and you and everyone else is safe. So not to worry. Really focus on yourself at this time. I'm hearing a lot of your spirit guides emphasize this. So you might need to cocoon yourself, be a bit of a hermit, and allow yourself to rest, be in silence, and just be in your own company. That way you can really allow all those downloads to work through you. I'm hearing from some of your spirit guides to avoid too many interactions with other people, because that could really create cords and other connections and really take you away from further surrendering it to all the healing and the downloads that are wanting to really integrate within you. So please do a lot of self-care and spend as much time on your own as you need to. So the third card that had come out, it's time to take action. So this is interesting that that card had come out, because in your prep reading, there was a card that had popped out saying that your dreams need a practical plan. I believe those were the words. So that was the prep reading. In the circle, you released all those blocks that were preventing you from seeing things clearly or moving forward. You got the positive downloads to move forward more joyously through life and feeling life as a joyride. So now it's time to take the action. What are you going to do next? So what's one thing you need to do, or the two things you need to do just to move forward towards that goal? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Maybe it's a small thing, such as researching on the internet of the choices that may be out there for you. So however you want to take that next action step. So now they want to get into the virtues, the lessons that are coming in to teach you at this time. So they want to start with a card, Gateway. And this card really speaks about a portal that is opening up within you. I have a feeling the Gateway card may have popped up in another reading, perhaps in the solar eclipse circle one. I'm not sure. You might want to go back and check that one out. But it's popped out in this lunar eclipse integration reading. So it just means that there's all these gateways, portals, energetic doorways that are opening for you. And if you're feeling triggered or in analysis paralysis or action paralysis, it's because these portals are trying to invite you to cross through that. And it's really symbolic of letting go of the fears and stepping up, really moving forward, taking those action steps towards your dreams so that you could evolve as a soul and even lift up your spiritual vibration higher. So if you're feeling a little bit more anxious, fearful, take a moment to really sit with yourself So this is where it goes back to Spirit suggesting that you spend time on your own and ask yourself, okay, where are some of the fears still lingering within me? And what is it trying to tell me? And if I listen to the fear, what's the worst that could happen? But if I listen to the fear, use my discernment, and take the appropriate action step, what would be the best that would happen? So ask yourself these things to really push yourself forward. I'm hearing for a lot of you who are healers, you might have your psychic abilities open up more. I'm hearing clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. And I know my circles do tend to attract highly sensitives and high empaths. So do take a really good care of yourself if you do identify in those categories as a high empath or a highly sensitive, because the world is still coming down from the lunar eclipse energy, and you might be very, very sensitive to the external surroundings, the environment, the people around you. So do take that time to be on your own if possible. I feel like I may have channeled the next card. That happens sometimes. The next card is New Beginnings. So that's what's going to happen if you are willing to face your fear and take the next action step and really open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that are out there for you. So remember that starfish spirit animal's guidance in the prep reading about infinite possibilities. So be open to that, embrace it. And the possibilities or the new beginnings may come in very subtle ways for some of you. So pay attention to those things. They're going to talk about signs and omens that they want to send to you in the next tarot cards. So perhaps those are the ways they might, in subtle ways or perhaps obvious ways, might want to get your attention so that you actually follow those breadcrumbs of spirit signs and actually take the next action step or get that insight or aha moment that you really needed. But the New Beginnings card is assuring you that there is something new that's happening for you, but just allow this energy first to settle down. So retreat, journal, reflect, and make sure you plan out your dreams. Make sure that there is a practical plan and you are taking those action steps very quietly as this energy settles. So the next card is community. This card had come out again. So it really emphasizes that there's a lot of you who were in the circle last night who are meant to contribute something big to the community. So contributing something beyond yourself. So as the integration continues and the downloads work through you, think to yourself, what is the spiritual footprint you want to leave behind? And to leave behind a really great spiritual footprint in the best and highest ways and for your best and highest good, what would that journey look like? What would that inner work look like? So ask yourself all these things. And this is not for everyone in the circle. I feel like this is very specific to the healers in the circle. So if you're not working as a healer but resonate with this, ask yourself those questions also. But there's something definitely coming here about community. Just give me a moment. I'm also hearing connection, because that's very much what creates a community. So what would that connection look and feel like to you? So really visualize, feel it in every single cell in your body. And when we do that, we're actually really magnetizing that energy. And you might actually draw in that new beginning or possibility or opportunity or even the signs that will lead you to where you need to hop onto next. They made me say hop on to next. So I always talk about following the white rabbit. So keep following or hopping after that white rabbit. Follow your curiosity. And I'm also hearing for a lot of you, you may be overthinking about what connection or community is. So if you do catch yourself doing that, take a step back and just invite Spirit in to show you what they feel is for your best and highest good in terms of connection and community and perhaps relationships. So during this time when all these signs and omens are coming to you, trust what you're seeing. Trust what you are being drawn to. And that's the next card, trust. So trust what really attracts your attention and go, that's odd that one thing really stood out to me on my way home today. Why? Spirit, send me another sign. I want to follow this breadcrumb. So really put out those invitations. It's like a conversation, a connection that you're building with your own spirit team. And in a way, you're kind of building a spiritual community in the spirit world, isn't it? So this is where the community card is bouncing in right now and saying community is not just in this earth realm, but perhaps a sense of connection, community, in a deep sense of relationship to the spirit world, perhaps to your ancestors, perhaps to the plant spirits. I know a lot of you work with the plant medicines, so I could feel that is really coming in powerfully for some of you. I myself I am on that similar path. Defining community and connection. So as you're doing that, trusting all those things that you see, trusting what you receive from Spirit, slowly building up what your sense of community or connection or what your spiritual footprint is, you're building up your own power. And that's what the next card is talking about, power. So they're really drawing my attention to the storm that's happening on the power card, and there's a rainstorm there. So for some of you, you might gather the energy of power by listening to the rain or being outside in the rain. So however you want to connect with rain. I really love it when it rains because water is a fantastic conductor of energy, and when it rains, I could feel Spirit so much more because it just multiplies, amplifies the energy of Spirit. So I'm feeling things way more at the psychic level. So for some of you, if you're feeling a little stuck, you might need to wait for a rainy day to go out and connect with the spirit of that rainfall. And then ask your spirit guides, okay, I'm trying to amp up my energy, be a bit of a conductor of energy here. And once you feel like you are full of spiritual energy, you can invite in your spirit guides for any signs or messages that they want to communicate to you. The next card is adventures. So we did do downloads about that last night in the circle. So there are some adventures that are coming your way. I'm also hearing from quite a few of your spirit guides to make a list of all these adventures that you will love to take. And it doesn't have to be travel. Adventure could be following your curiosity and seeing what kind of stuff you may learn and find out about yourself in an art class. That's an adventure. So it doesn't have to be big. So write out anything that you want to explore that would enhance you in so many levels and that will power you up so that you could really follow those practical plans to achieve your dream. So the next cards here, and they're from my coffee oracle deck. And for those of you who are new to me, I love coffee spirit plant. So the first card is bear. And these are the signs, by the way, that some of you will be seeing. So let's say, for example, the first card that had come out is bear. So you might see a bear on perhaps a child's clothing. And that could be Spirit's way of saying, hey, you know, the bear card talks about strength and being resourceful. There's strength and resources coming to you. Heads up. we're sending you this heads up as a sign of a bear on that child's shirt. So you need to keep your eyes open and know when to receive it when that opportunity comes, and know that you have the strength to receive it. So really be open to how these various things, these signs here in the coffee cards, the circle shaped ones there in the pictures I emailed to the participants. So keep an eye on how each word or the image on the cards manifest for you. Bear could come through as a tattoo on someone or a shape of a cookie. You never know. I just heard one spirit guide said, if you see any of these shapes in a cookie, you're welcome to have one and treat yourself because you all did an awesome job last night. So the bear spirit, if you see it, it speaks about that. There's that strength that's building within you. You yourself are actually becoming resourceful. And for some of you, it may be about resources coming in. So be very, very open. Resources could also mean advice from someone that really helps you out. It might be money, but it might be something else. So be open and check in with yourself to make sure that your ego or your subconscious is not trying to make up desired interpretations of these signs. So when you see these signs, try to feel it. What does it really feel like to you? Perhaps the bear might just want to give you the energy of assurance. So oftentimes that's what Mother Bear Spirit, when she comes to me, she wants to assure me that, Mari, you are healing and everything's going to be okay. Just keep one foot in front of the other and keep going. So she's a very wonderful cheerleader in my life. So don't try to be too stuck to the cards here. Just allow the interpretation to happen naturally within you also. The next card speaks about justice documents, and the symbol for it is scales. So there might be some balance happening here. That's the justice part. We did release the cords and hooks from previous companies, organizations, people who have hurt you in the circle last night. So there's some balancing work that is happening right now. So please do know that. In no way this does not talk about revenge. It is not about that. It's a balancing of energies that's happening because you have released so much last night. Documents. It does speak here. Some of you may need to check your documents before you sign it. Or maybe you need to go back to some old documents that needs to be shredded or cleared out, because those old documents, they also hold old energy of the past, and maybe it just does not represent who you are and where you're headed to right now. And so perhaps you need to change it, update those documents, whatever those documents may be for you. Or you may simply need to just get rid of them. And you'll know in some ways that there is something that needs to be released in terms of documents or adjusted within the documents. If you see scales or anything similar to, let's say, a device that weighs things. So again, it might be different for some of you, so be very open to how these symbols also change a little bit, but still deliver similar messages. And note that this is a group reading, so take only what resonates with you. So the next card talks about pregnancy and wealth, and this is symbolized by the peacock. So if you see peacock blue or any color tones even that reminds you of the colors on a peacock's feather, note that. Be very, very open. Don't think literally you'll see a peacock and go, oh, okay, awesome. Sign from spirit. You might see it. You never know if you happen to be at a park that is filled with peacocks. But be open to how peacocks could also appear. I'm hearing for some of you, it may appear as a sticker on someone's belonging. So keep an eye out for that. So Peacock talks about pregnancy and wealth. So for some of you, literally, if you are considering having children, it could be an opportune time that is coming. But pregnancy also talks about fertility, and fertility represents creativity and abundance. So know that that's all coming, and this is all tied to the word wealth that is there. So when Spirit and the Creator speaks about abundance, prosperity, wealth, it could be about money, but be open to what abundance or wealth looks like and may manifest in your life. So keep your eye open for that. So the next card talks about challenges and achievements, and that is symbolized by the mountain. And I live right next to the mountain, so I see the mountains every single day. So, and if you're living in a similar environment, then you're welcome to ask Spirit, send me a sign of a mountain if challenges or achievements, anything related to those learnings, are coming my way. And you may see a simple drawing of a mountain as a logo on a truck. That's what I'm seeing on a white truck. There's some simple mountains drawn on it that represents the company. So you might see mountains in those ways. But know that you have learned your challenges. Some of you are still completing your learnings from them, and the virtues and the other downloads that you received in the circle, it is assisting you so that you could complete those learnings, overcome those challenges a little quicker. And know that there is an achievement at the end. I feel like they did mention about clovers and rainbows as also signs from Spirit that luck is coming, abundance is coming. So I'm seeing clovers and rainbows in front of me as I'm touching the mountain card. So when you see clovers and rainbows, it may be a sign for you that you are close to overcoming your challenge and achievement is very, very near, which means abundance, prosperity, wealth is coming your way. For some of you, wealth is knowledge. So someone may teach you something and it just explodes this gateway. Remember that card, gateway? It explodes this gateway within you of a whole different world. And that is wealth, isn't it? So be open to any spiritual openings that will happen for you. The next card talks about distance and journey. And I feel like this is related to the adventure card that we spoke about earlier. So do take note of what was said about the card, adventure. And distance and journey is symbolized by the ocean. So for you, and I also live near the ocean. So I live near mountains and oceans. So if you live in that sort of a landscape, again, you're welcome to ask your spirit guide if ocean is, or the sea is, a sign that I should follow. Send it to me so that's really obvious. So perhaps you might see an ocean on, let's say, a company logo. So let's just keep using company logo as an example. So with the ocean, I'm actually hearing some of you may need to sit next to the ocean because the salt is everywhere, isn't it? In the water, the air, and in the sand. And some of you do need to sit next to the ocean to really cleanse yourself because the salt is so cleansing. So do keep that in mind if you're called to do that. For some of you, there might be some travel happening. So I'm hearing mostly short distance travel. And I feel like this may have been mentioned in one of the readings. So be open to that. That could be your next adventure coming. And of course, when we follow adventures, that's when we gain a wealth of life experiences. And that also elevates our spiritual vibration, and which in turn attracts wonderful things your way. So the final card is husband and marriage, symbolized by the groom. So for some of you, there may be a deepening of this connection with your partner. For some of you, it may be a sign that a compatible life partner is coming your way. And I prefer to say compatible life partner because that's the life partner that matches your vibration, and you're compatible with them because you could both evolve together. So be open to how the message husband and marriage also changes for you. It may just mean a deepening of a connection in your friends. So be very, very open. This card really speaks about a deeper commitment and a deepening of a connection to your loved ones. So going on next to the goddess cards. And interesting, the goddess cards are very similar in the color tones there. So I'll let you look at that in the picture I emailed to you. So these goddesses just want to offer any self-care tips or wisdom. So the first goddess that had come out is Vesta, and she talks about the home. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. So note that when we do our own inner work, it also shifts and changes the people that we share our DNA with. So you may notice a shift within your family members, and the shift is obviously for the better. So keep that open, how that manifests for you. For you, you may need to actually clear your home a little bit and let go of some things that no longer represents who you are. Because as we evolve, we do want to let go of objects from the past, because those objects actually hold energy and it could be tying you down in some ways. So do consider doing a nice clearing. It is still spring, so you could still do a spring cleaning. So the next goddess is Genevieve, and she talks about true love. So I feel like this is connected to the symbol of the groom of husband and marriage. So if any of you connected to that card, the message in here may also resonate with you. So she talks about the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So how wonderful. Note that someone's spirit guide is saying, yeah, some of you may be getting pets because they give great unconditional love. So be open. How does true love, or how will true love evolve in you? So be very, very aware as you're listening to this reading, how your ego and your subconscious chooses to interpret them. But when these signs actually show up, or events happen in your life that contradict the interpretation by your ego, it's time to step back a bit and go, okay, let go of that interpretation. Spirit, make me feel it. And that way you can begin trusting yourself and really trusting how you feel and interpret signs from spirit. So the final goddess is Pele. I love her. I work with her. So she talks about divine passion. So for some of you, that's really going to explode open for you. And again, I'm being shown the gateway card in front of me. So be open when this opening is going to happen. That was a mouthful. So be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So Pele is reminding us of what we manifested in the circle towards the end. And remember the tip that the Creator gave all of us. Make sure we're not manifesting from a place of fear, because if we are, watch out for big lessons coming our way. Because the universe is saying, okay, you want to manifest this, but we're going to send you lessons to let go of that fear so that thing that you want manifests. So really keep in touch with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? And what are the intentions within them? So explore that a little bit if you like. Go down that rabbit hole. So the next card's here, and it's from the Rose. Oh, interesting, I was talking about the rain. And the first card from the Rose is called After the Rain. And there's actually a rainbow on here, so for those of you who connect with the rainbow, there you go. That's a sign for you that this card may hold the messages you need. So, After the Rain card talks about silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. So, that really goes with the first card that had come out about the end of a tough cycle approaching. So the rainstorm is ending, and know that you and your loved ones are safe the entire time. Just allow this energy to just simmer out. And in the meantime, really take good care of yourself. And the word acceptance really stands out to me on this card. So ask yourself, where in your life are you having difficulty accepting it? So explore that. How has acceptance played a role throughout your spiritual journey? What has acceptance, the virtue of acceptance, taught you? So these are very deep questions because the Creator knows everyone in the circle can handle it. So for those of you who may be doubting whether anything is really happening for you, the next card from Rose assures you that healing is happening. So please know that. And it's so important to rest and integrate after a circle or any healing session, because your body, your physical body, needs to catch up to the new spiritual vibration within you. That could be days, that could be weeks, it could be months for some of you. So really be patient with yourself. Remember, we did download the virtue of patience. It's really important to have a lot of that on the spiritual journey, isn't it? So know that healing is happening. And the message here is you're not broken. Trust the process. So flow. Do not force things to happen. And it's safe to soften. So the word safe had come up twice so far in the cards. So when words or objects come up frequently in readings, in one reading, it usually means Spirit saying, yes, we just want to emphasize you are safe. And it's safe to just soften, to surrender. So the final card here from Rose is we are nature. So becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. So there you go, another word, repeated twice. So connection first came up through my voice earlier, and now connection is actually a written word here on the cards. So explore that. What is connection to you? How about connection to yourself? Connection to the plants, the animals, anything else? So explore that. Where have some of the connections been broken and why? And what are the negative beliefs that are driving it and continuing to create this distance between you and that which your soul desires to have an authentic connection with? So ask yourself these things. These are really, really deep questions. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the final cards. So we're going more into the Rose energy. She always likes to be present, Rose Spirit, in all these readings because I do work very closely with her. I noticed that the Rose cards that had come out, they're all pink. So for some of you, it may help to connect with a pink rose or connect with a color pink. The color pink to me represents self-love. So that may be something that you very much need right now to really give yourself all the attention that your soul needs at this time so that they could integrate and really move forward with this fiery passion like Pele wants to give you. So you'll notice that there's another word that's repeated in these three rose cards. So that's giver. So the first card that come out is the giver. And this card is asking you, and it goes back to self-love, doesn't it? So this card is asking you, can you give to yourself the same amount, time, energy, drive, passion, focus, and motivation to yourself as you give to other things? And try that for a day and see how that feels like, because that could boost your energy quite a bit. So this is where Rose Spirit is putting on her life coach hat and really trying to give you a push. And Rose here is also saying, where have you given too much or are still giving way too much, and you could scale back. So this is where Rose Spirit wants to invite in more of a balance in your life. The next card is the Sensualist. So this goes to the divine feminine energy within us, and every single human has a divine masculine and a divine feminine energy. And masculine is all about action, planning, and structure, and the feminine is more about creativity, flow, nurturing, and even intuition. And they both really need each other to have a good balance so that your soul could be happy and successfully move on through the soul lessons. So this card is asking you, where has your divine feminine aspect of you has fallen? And they're making me say the word fallen. So where are you not trusting your intuition? Where do you feel stuck in your creativity? Where are you not nurturing yourself? So explore those things and go, okay, how can I trust my intuition more? How can I nurture myself more? How can I be more creative if creativity is your thing? So the Sensualist card also speaks about that divine feminine aspect, to really feel the world through all of your senses. So see, smell, taste, really enjoy it. Even simply as eating a meal, instead of just shoving a fork full of stuff in your mouth. Try to really smell the food, take in the visual of the food. So if you're at a restaurant, enjoy the visual presentation of it, and really try to take in with all of your senses. And try to do that even if it's just walking down the street. See how many sounds you could pick up. And by doing that, we are also allowing ourselves to be more connected to the world. So however you want to experience the world, or even by yourself in your home, just using all your 6 senses, I would like to leave it up to you. And they made me say 6 because I do count psychic ability as a 6th sense. So as you're eating the food, you may start to see the passion of the person who made it, or the passion of the farmer who really put their energy into creating that cherry tomato. So that's just an example of some of the things I pick up intuitively when I'm connecting with food. So the next and final card is the caregiver. So you notice that the word giver has come out twice. So again, Spirit saying, where are you giving a little too much? And if you are being the caregiver to someone, where can you be the caregiver to yourself? And go down this rabbit hole. Look at in the ways that you wish that a caregiver in your life had loved you and nurtured you. And can you do that same thing to yourself now? Because you're an adult now. So you could give back to your inner child in ways that they needed at that time. So that is all that these cards want to say. I realize this is the longest integration reading I've done for a circle, I believe. So I hope each and every one of you continue to be gentle and really take a good care of yourselves. I wish you all a beautiful day.